Hi there, we're here today at Brook House in St Neots. Now the reason why I'm here is I've come to see one of my students that I trained over 5 years ago. She entered into the perm makeup industry. She left her previous job, a completely different industry, and came to me, and I trained her to be a success story. And today is one of my success stories that you're going to go to see inside her building. We're at Brook House at St Neots, and you're going to be seeing Lisa Fensom. She's not related to me. I'm Tracy Fensom. I'm a coach, I'm a trainer, and I'm a mentor at Signature Academy, and she's bossed it. And today we're going to have some fun going inside. Come in with me. Let's see if she's in. Hello.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
Thank you so much for inviting me to Brook House. How wonderful.
Welcome.
I'm so excited to see what you've done in here and everything. Let's just head in.
Come on in.
So this is absolutely lovely.
Thank you.
Lisa, we're going to have a look around later on, aren't we?
We will.
But just to pick off, because probably people that are going to watch this will see the previous Zoom we did during the lockdown.
Ages ago.
It feels like ages ago. And how we left off, I'm not going to tell people about it because it's an interesting story, but how we left it was you'd taken this building on during the lockdown, just as the lockdown started.
Yes, right in the middle.
And that was it basically. So now we've jumped, what, maybe 7, 8, I can't remember. Do you remember what month you took this building on?
No idea.
It's going to be maybe coming up for a year.
It might be coming up to a year in June, possibly. I'm not sure, give or take.
Yeah, but we'll have a look around later because it's a great Georgian building as well. Probably the history we'll talk about. But we're here today about you and your success story because I'm very proud.
I couldn't do it without you. So why don't we go have a coffee and I'll show you my clinic.
Oh, I'd love to. Where do we go from here?
Go straight through the door.
You lead the way.
Okay.
Oh, this is lovely, Lisa. So we're upstairs now, aren't we? We'll have a tour of here later as well, just to show everybody what you've got here. But let's just go straight to it. When we spoke on the Zoom last year, you took this on. But if I rewind a tiny bit, just before that, you were working in another rental place, like a sanctuary out somewhere, wasn't it?
Yes.
It was like a hut, a cabin, or
Yeah, it was in like it was actually in a car park in an industrial estate. But we called it the sanctuary because it had its own private garden, so you had to get through the industrial estate to get to it.
Yeah.
But yeah,
the pictures were great. That was lovely
pretty.
as well. And the video, the other Zoom we did, you've had quite a few places that you've worked from. You're a great advocate for all the different types of places you can work from in this industry, whether it's perm makeup or skin. So I said to you earlier, you must do a little ebook or something. So those that are coming into the industry,
the different
places, the pros and the cons of it. But you know, a lot of people say to business owners, entrepreneurs, what's your vision? What's your why? What's your vision? And you had a vision, but if we're honest about it, at that point before you took this on, you were in this sanctuary, but you were actually at a stage you were unsure where you were going to be working. You were thinking about moving again, and you were thinking about going back home. I mean, you worked from home before, and you had that license by the council, but you were thinking about going back home, weren't you? We had a conversation.
I was
a week before you took this on. We had that conversation about would it be fine. And I said you've got to go with where you're at in your life.
Yeah.
But life throws opportunities out, doesn't it?
It does,
it really does.
That's what this was. And I was 100% going back to working in a home environment. I was going to get something built in the garden, and I was going to cut down my hours and think about having a family. And then, as you say, it was the week after I'd made that decision that this building came up, and it was just too good to be true, and it was too big of an opportunity to miss.
Yeah. So, and you've got a colleague as well, a friend.
Yes.
And you haven't done it all on your own.
No,
so you partnered up with somebody, didn't you?
I did.
There was an opportunity there.
So when I found this building, I sent it to my friend who was renting from me at the other place, and I just said to her, "Look at this. Wouldn't this be the dream? Imagine working in a building like this." And the next day we had a viewing. And she'd done all the figures and said, we can absolutely do this. And the minute we walked in, I mean, it didn't look like it does now. I need to find the before photos. But we literally immediately just had that vision as soon as we walked into that reception, and we just knew that we had to do this. So
yeah, I mean, sometimes, you know, when people say, "Oh, what's your vision? What's the plans?" and people go, they're a bit vague. They're not sure about it, and that's okay in business. You know, it is because they're waiting. They're waiting for the opportunity, or they're weighing things up. But for you, it was like lightning.
It was like lightning, and it was really good to work with somebody else, because then we were able to bounce ideas. So for me, I was like, a week ago I was going to have a nice quiet life and work from home, and then she was like, no, we're going to take on this building, and then do you know what we're going to do? We're going to do it again. We're going to do it somewhere else, and then we're going to go abroad and we're going to do it. And she was like running with this, and I was like, okay. And she was almost like gauging me up for this massive vision that we now both have to create other places like this for people to be able to work in, because it's hard. I've been there. When I was trying to find somewhere to work, it's hard to find somewhere to work.
That's going to be right for you.
Yeah.
And the dynamics as well.
Exactly.
So that you've got people that work from home, which is fine as long as they're licensed, or in the garden from home. You've got people that will rent rooms. There's other people that will maybe take out a whole lease at a salon or a clinic or a dentist. And then there's the sanctuary like you had, which is through an industrial estate, but great pods. Or they decide to take on a whole building or something of their own. There's all different ways, but you can do it, can't you?
Oh, you absolutely can.
It doesn't matter where you're at. And you said that, you know, I think for you, although this became your vision, I still think your vision from our little chats is still to do that maybe Tuesday to Thursday or Wednesday to Friday.
Absolutely.
And have the lifestyle that you want. But this has now enabled you to do it. There's going to be people listening to this and think, oh Lord, you know, I've got to go and get big buildings to make money. I can't, this isn't what I want to do. Yeah. But you started in all the small places.
I did.
And you still earned good money, didn't you?
And if I'd stayed in the first place that I started from was at home. I had a home salon, and I'd converted a room, got the council round, the environmental officer, and we completely changed it into a clinic. If I'd stayed there, yes, my journey would have been different. I may have made a lot more money a lot quicker because I hadn't moved around so much. But what I did was reinvested the money I made into the next place, and then the next place, and then the next place until I got here. So I feel like now is my time to stay, do the hours that I choose, and really create that lifestyle that I started this whole business for in the first place.
Yeah. And by taking on this building, both of you saw the opportunity that actually it's got, 15 rooms?
Yeah, we've got 15 rooms in total, which sounds crazy. But we just saw the opportunity to also give other people an opportunity that were looking for somewhere, that wanted to be a part of something. Because when you're in this industry, it can sometimes be quite lonely, because you're working on your own all day. So it's quite nice to work in a surrounding where you've all got one thing in common, and that's to help people feel good, make yourself a living, and enjoy going to work. And that's what we all do here. We all love coming here. We pretty much live here.
It's a great building, and we're getting videos done shortly after we've finished our little chat, and the front and the back and everything about it. It's an amazing Georgian building. We are actually in St Neots, aren't we?
Yes.
Does it fall under Cambridgeshire County?
It does, yeah, it is under Cambridgeshire.
Yeah.
So we're kind of like in a little triangle where you've got St Neots, and then you've got just Cambridge down the road, Bedford down the road, Peterborough down the road, and then if you got the train, London 30 minutes. So we're kind of...
It's ideally located, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because it won't just be people that may be coming into our industry, pert makeup and skin industry, that will see this. It'll be probably on some of my coaching pages as well, so it's an inspiration for people. But there'll be people that will see this that might want to come here and have treatments.
Amazing.
So we haven't touched upon actually what treatments you're doing here. I mean, I trained you in Pert Cosmetics 5 years ago.
I think it was 5 years ago,
And you've done more training with us, and you've gone on to train with other companies as well. And you're at this stage in this wonderful room where you're now doing your magic. But you said to me earlier that I said to you, what's your favourite treatments? What do you want to talk about? And you said, well, I only do the treatments that I love and that you feel passionate about. So tell us what you do. What are you most busy with anyway?
So I'm most busy with my permanent makeup brows, because that's where I started with you. I don't know if you remember the conversation we were discussing whether I would just do brows or whether I would do the whole permanent makeup package, but I was adamant
just brows
that I wanted to just do brows at that point. So it wasn't until a few years later I went into the whole permanent makeup. And then moved into skin as well. So I literally just do permanent makeup and skin and anything to do with brows. So I absolutely love everything I do. There is not one treatment that I don't enjoy.
Yeah. And you want to do more, don't you, on the nutrition side? So for you, education doesn't stop. I mean, it's just such a great industry. You know, you come into an industry, you learn a skill, whether it's you start off in skin or permanent makeup, but then there's so much there to learn.
Yeah, there is.
And people really, you know, they go on their different individual pathways, don't they, to what they want to go to. But for you, you're doing nutrition as well.
Yes. So I started my advanced nutrition diploma, I think January 2019. And that's specific to skin.
Yeah.
So it's so interesting. It's so interesting, and it's really helping me understand more for my clients. And I've always looked at skin from a holistic point of view anyway. Always start from inside before we start outside. But I think it's going to take me down another path in the future, definitely.
Yeah. More consultancy.
Absolutely.
Consulting people on health generally. Because we are what we eat, aren't we? Our gut and everything.
And that journey, that skin journey, started from my own problems with my back and inflammation. I wanted to look at food rather than taking medication.
Yeah.
And that then led me, I saw the crossover with the skin then, and I was like, right, I can fix myself and help fix everybody's skin at the same time.
Yeah. Well, for those people that are watching that haven't watched the other video, just tell us briefly what you did before you entered into this industry, because people come from all different industries. We've got corporate, dog walkers, landscapers, beauty therapists. What were you doing?
So I was teaching at the time, but my background is I originally trained as a dancer in another life, and then I went straight into teaching. But then I did 10 years with the NHS and clinical trials. So probably mainly education and healthcare was my thing.
Yeah.
But I was teaching at the time before coming into permanent makeup. I was a education specialist.
You did phlebotomy as well?
Oh, I did. I did phlebotomy.
Yeah,
I did phlebotomy for 4 years, and I was part of the Cambridge blood donor service team as well. And I run the clinics, or assisted in the blood clinics in Her Majesty's Prison Service, as well as lots of.
Well, that might come in handy when you go down more into the skin if you do go into injectables with the PRP.
Absolutely.
I've got my vampire facials, wonderful.
Yes. Oh, yeah, I've looked at those. They're on the list.
So we were talking earlier about the hours that you work. You've got this big building now, and you've got people in here that are paying rent. So that is the real entrepreneurialism, most certainly there, that you're working still because you're a service provider, but also you've got other people in the building, not earning for you, but earning for the building. Yeah. So it alleviates some of the maybe overheads revenues that you've got as well. So something for people to think of if they want to go down that road at a later date with the bigger buildings. But we were talking about the number of hours you're going to work here, and in terms of servicing people with your treatments. I can't quite remember which days you mentioned, and you mentioned hours. Now, people are going to think when you tell us in a minute, they're going to think, oh, gosh, she's not working a lot of hours, but your earning potential is so good, isn't it?
It is. I've worked hard to get to where I am. So when I started, when you start, you've got to put the hours.
You did so much in that first year, didn't you? You did so much.
I think I was slightly different to everybody else because I kind of went 110 miles and quit the job, and just that was what I was doing. Whereas the sensible thing would have been to run it alongside a job. But I just went all guns blazing.
You did.
So I did that for the first couple of years, but that's now enabled me to get to a point where I can now choose my hours. So my hours work around me rather than the other way around. So I'm at a point now where I'm able to cut down to 3 days a week, but still earning a full-time wage.
Yeah.
So
and you're looking to bring in more treatments as well. Treatments of a higher value.
Absolutely.
Because let's be honest, this building and everything you've done to it, it's beautiful. This is the first time I've been here, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, but I did see what it's like before, but I could just see there's been so much love and care taken in near enough every single room that I've managed to see. You've done so much to it. So I suppose what I'm leading to, when you've done so much work and you've grown so much,
you're able to command more of a premium luxury price for the services you offer, because you've obviously got some competitors nearby, but from a business point of view, the amount of investment you've put in here and what people are going to experience, are you making any changes to your pricing? Is that going to reflect what they've got?
It will do eventually. At the moment, because obviously we've only been open the last 6 weeks, everything's just staying the same. But going into 2022, everything's going to have a new structure. And that's the thing with our industry, though. People, they're not paying for results. They're paying for the treatment, the experience. They're paying for our expertise, all of the investment that we've put into our training, and obviously the building that they're coming into. It's about the experience, isn't it, really?
It definitely is, definitely. Well, it's all of those that you mentioned, really, isn't it? And in this type of building, and the treatments that are here, and we touch upon what other people are doing here, that people, it will attract a certain type of client, if you like, your ideal client, to come to the building. Although the building's welcome to everybody, obviously, in the area. But tell us a little bit about the not the people, but the other businesses that are in here, so that people that are watching this maybe locally might be interested to know what's in here.
So we've got three floors, and on the first ground floor, we have what we call the drawing room, and that is a beautiful Georgian room with a gorgeous old fireplace, which we're not using, but it looks pretty, and that can be used for afternoon teas, conference meetings, special events, so it can be rented out via the day or via the week if needed. We recently just had a local business brunch, and we've got things like wedding receptions, wedding fairs, birthday parties in there, so there's lots of things.
You gave me a peek in there, didn't you? Well, this would be nice as a training room.
A training room.
Was whizzing already.
And then you've got on the first floor, then you've got everything in your health, beauty, holistics and aesthetics industry. We have every treatment here you could possibly want or imagine. I won't go through all of them, but we literally cover the whole sector.
People could float through the different rooms.
That's the idea.
They could have their makeup done, then float through somewhere else and have a relaxing holistic treatment.
Absolutely everything. We've even got a company coming in to do thermo-imagery. So they're doing mammograms and body scans, which is fantastic. That's a private treatment. We've got permanent makeup, we've got everything to do skin, we've got your lashes, your waxing, your reflexology, we've got your energy healers, your life reading, we've got your fat freezing, your anti-wrinkle.
Gosh, well there's 15 rooms here.
Your PGO threads, everything.
Wow.
Everything. And we're also in the process of becoming CQC as well.
Okay. That's quite hard work.
That is hard work. We're in the process.
That's something we can chat about afterwards. Being a grade something listed building, is it 2 type of listed building? You were saying about it.
Yes, it's very, very old, very historic,
very elegant. How old is it in here?
I have no idea.
I bet it's 17. I think Georgian 17th century, something like that.
Somewhere. It's actually in the local museum. There's been a book written about this building, so we need to get hold of that.
That'd be interesting. I'd like to do that. So going back again to your ideal vision.
Sorry, I forgot. We haven't gone to the top floor.
Right.
There's more. On the top floor, we've got our website and marketing company and logo design. And then we've also got a company who are doing fantastic, and they've just been featured in the Times, but they actually build bespoke outside offices. So for those students of yours that are thinking of having something in
that's quite good to know, actually. I'll get their details off you later, because there's so many people that come and train with us that do work from home, as you did at the beginning, and if they haven't got the ideal room in the house that they can allocate, they think of externally. As long as it's approved by the council's health and safety, there's nothing wrong with it, is there? I mean, look at you! Look where you are now, and you started off in your house, didn't you?
I did.
Yeah, I can remember. Hippity-picklety, you had to move things around and everything.
I really did. I had to build a sink in the room as well.
Yeah. So going back to your days off, you can have those days off. We were speaking about those, and I mean, you've got your vision still. Once you walked in here, you had a vision of what you wanted, so that's your business. But vision-wise, if we bring it all together, what's your vision now, really, for the next few years? What are you looking to do?
I think my vision now is definitely finding that lifestyle balance that we all look for, and definitely just enjoying my work more because I'm able to have more time for me. And for me, I love to travel, so I want to be able to have my time here, but also where we've created this incredible place for other people to come and work, I can go away knowing that it's running itself as well.
Yeah. And of course, even if you didn't have this place and you are a busy lady dealing with clients, because you were telling me earlier you can't fit everybody in, then you would still be able to do your travelling and everything. It's one of those jobs, isn't it, that if your clients love you, most of them will wait. They'll go on the waiting list or they get booked in advance.
I think they become friends as well in this industry because we spend a lot of time with them, and that's very, very true for me and my clients. They definitely become a big part of my life, and I see them every year or every 2 years, and I always say to them, gosh, I can't believe it's been so long, because you just pick up from where you've left off.
Yeah, you do. So Lisa, we're coming to the end of this because I'm desperate to go around and have a look at the rest of the building, and we're going to do some recording. Mark's with us today. He's doing all the videoing and he's going to do recordings of this, which we'll tag on at the end. But if you were starting out, let's look at two scenarios. Let's finish off in this. If you were a starter coming into the cosmetics industry, what's the one main challenge you had, but the tip you can give them?
The one challenge I had, it's yourself. It's fighting with your self-belief and always thinking you're not good enough. Because even now, we're human. We always feel that we can
look for perfection.
We do, and I remember you saying to me halfway through my journey, Lisa, stop going on all these courses and just concentrate on you. So yeah, definitely your self-belief, and don't be so hard on yourself. That's
be patient.
Be patient and consistent.
Yeah, because it is a specialised skill. Skin and cosmetics, so specialised. You can't learn it overnight. It takes time.
No, you learn it over years of experience.
Yeah. So it's the long vision really people have got to have, isn't it?
Absolutely.
That this is what they want to do, and it's going to fit in with their life.
Yeah.
With their lifestyle. What about those that are maybe not where you're at, but maybe feeling a bit unsettled, and they're wanting to have more time off, and not too sure about how they're going to do it? Let's just say it's somebody working in a room from a hairdresser's or a salon or clinic. What would you do if you're in that scenario? If I want more time off, I want to stay here. What could they do?
I think the one thing for me that I didn't do until recently is looking at my payment structures. I think we're too consumed with what is happening around us, and we go, oh, so and so's charging this, so I'll charge that. Yeah. So and so's charging that, so that's what I should charge.
Yeah.
When actually you shouldn't. You should charge your worth.
Yes.
So you need to work out what is it you want to earn, what is your hourly wage, and then take off your product costs, your rental costs, your electricity bill. Decide on your hourly wage first. Don't go with what everybody else is charging, because it's not about that. Everybody's different.
Yeah, so true. A lot of people, they invest a lot of money, but because they've also are dealing with, I'm not as good as that person, I'm not as good as that person around the corner, they then actually charge too low.
Yeah.
From memory, I think I told you at one point to charge more, didn't I?
Yes, yeah,
charge
quite low for a while.
And we're not being greedy or anything. There's so much hard work goes into this to perfect this skill, isn't there? It's a tough job. We're working on people's faces, and it takes so long to get to that stage where you're totally comfortable. And people should charge. That's a tip I say to anybody listening. Always charge your worth. Absolutely. If you've only been doing it a year, you charge accordingly to that experience, but also your worth.
Yeah.
Always, the most important thing. And you don't have to be an entrepreneur to come into this industry. Some people just want to do it. It fits around their lifestyle. They might have 3 kids, they might have 1 kid, they might want to have more children, and it's going to fit around their lifestyle, but they want to earn maybe what they did as full-time, or maybe even more than what they did full-time, by doing quarter of the work.
And that was me in the beginning.
That was you.
That's all I wanted. I just wanted to replace my teaching wage with a brow wage, and I just thought I'll do work from home, and I'll just do a couple of friends a week and everything will be fine. And it just so happens that I ended up going on a crazy journey. None of this was planned, so just
go
if you're thinking about it, just go for it.
I've got the passion. Have the passion. Passion first, and then everything else will follow.
Absolutely.
Yeah. With the right guidance, obviously.
Yes.
I hope I've helped you.
Absolutely. Well, what you said to me is what's kept me going. You said to me, do not look at anybody else's work. Concentrate on yourself. The work will come if you concentrate on what you're doing, and it did. And I didn't look at anybody else for my first. I was too scared to look at anybody else's work for my first year. And there were times when I did, and then I went down that slippery slope.
Feeling that inadequate and everything. Yeah. I mean, it's good to look now and again. Inspiration. We all inspire. We're all inspired by other people. Aspirations are so important. There's nothing wrong with seeing somebody that's up here and you're nearly there and you want to get to that level. Is there? There's nothing wrong with that. But first year training, definitely just focus on yourself and get it as perfect as you can. Wonderful. So this has been fantastic. Thank you so much for sharing your journey with me on many occasions on lives. And finally here, I can't believe you're here, and we'll do a follow-up on this. I think people would love to see you maybe a year or so down the line and where you've taken your business. And if you have done that travelling, you know, and you're still earning the same or if not more, and I think you'll be earning a lot more. Obviously money isn't everything, you know, job satisfaction is very important, but at the end of the day, life is costly and we have to, you know, we have to pay for a lot of things, don't we, in life, and it's all about aligning your health, your happiness.
That's the most important.
Yeah, the business has to align with your health and happiness and with your passion as well. Yeah. Thank you, congratulations. I would hug you, but we're just come out, well, we haven't come out of COVID, have we? We're just allowed now to come into a certain environment. So thank you again, and all the success. You've done amazing.
Thank you for your support, because without you, I probably would have given up.
I still get the messages. Tracy, what's this? Tracy, can you tell me this? You're welcome, and all my students get that type of support. They're more than welcome, because I've been there on that journey, and I want to see you all grow. So lovely. So we're now going to go and have a look around. We've got Mark videoing with us today, and we're going to do some filming of this wonderful building and put it onto the videos. So thank you.
Thank you for coming.
So it's going to rain, isn't it?
Oh, it's
yeah. Thank you so much for sharing your journey with me, and it's amazing, wonderful, and I would say everybody must come and see this place in St Neots. Come and see Lisa at her Pure Skin Clinic, and see what she's done over the years. Really lovely. I won't embrace you because we're going to be distant, but take care. You can go shut the door now.